I count slowly, slowly, slowly getting faster. Once I start counting, it's very hard to stop. Hey, faster, faster, it is so exciting. I could count forever, count until I drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I love counting whatever the amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, hey, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, that's it.
Well, good evening, Possums, and welcome to a belated update for Week 13. I wanted to go ahead and give one official update before we entered into the last week of the final season. At this point, we have a lock with Brett and Tim going to the playoffs on the Diamonds division, and the beloved commissioner and Mr. Bissell going to the playoffs for the Spades division. Though there still could be a little back and forth, I think, between Brett and Bob, between Bob and myself as far as seeding goes. An interesting playoff potentially may occur now that Mr. Connor may be out for a little bit. And Tim lost one of his players as well, I believe. In any case, let me encourage and remind everybody you're still playing for seeding. We will go into the playoffs the next 2 weeks after we finish this week. And as always, that has implications for both selection next year. And, of course, the loser has to purchase our draft kit for next year. In any case, I wanted to take a moment and give some official standings as we go into the last week of regular season for the secondary pool. As a reminder, all the secondary pool prizes will pay off, or at least will be won next week. As I go into it, keep in mind one of the things I did, I keep a running total of these numbers every week. I do not, for example, look up most total points and points against individually each week. I just keep a running total of the scores as they're defined. As you know, scores can change slightly on Tuesday during restatements. So for Week 13, I have taken the official totals as opposed to simply adding up the Week 13 scores. You can find those official totals if you want to look at them in the standings section of the ESPN site. So next week, most total points will be awarded. The beloved commissioner still leads. The closest team member behind me is Brett with 62.5 points behind. Brett, you're going to have a big week, and I'm going to have to really lay an egg for you to catch me for most total points. Bring out your best. A little bit tighter race. Eminem is still leading with 1,795 points scored against. The next closest is Sean with a 41% point differential. Highest single weekly score, the beloved commissioner, still sits on top with his week's 12 score of 192. Had anybody elected to play Derrick Henry this week, you might have had a shot at it, but nobody did. So at this point, 192 will pay off unless someone beats it here in this last week. Worst first round pick is still locked. It will be awarded next week officially to Barry. At the moment, Mr. Gurley is still the best first round pick with an average through 13 weeks of 23.5 points per game. Nice selection, Mr. Jennings. And finally, for the Week 13 last man standing late, Mr. Bissell laid an egg, and it was a slightly smaller egg than the one Sean laid. So Sean moves on with M&M. One of them will be awarded that prize this coming week. And with that, that is your update as we stand to go into the last regular season game. We will convene. I know both Mac and Bob are out of town, so there's no reason that we won't go to Capone's at noon tomorrow as normal. Thanks, guys. Roll Tide.